Have you ever been the victim of wrongful discrimination? It can take all sorts of forms, and some people face it on a regular basis, whether it be because of their ethnicity or because of their gender, because of their economic condition. Wrongful discrimination can take all sorts of forms, and it's a powerfully destructive impact in our culture, even around our world. As I travel to different mission fields, I'm amazed how often you see examples of wrongful discrimination. Well, think about this. Does wrongful discrimination ever come to church? We know the answer to that is yes, in part because in the book of James, the very first book written in the New Testament, probably less than 20 years after the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ, one of the topics that James talks about in that short book is this very issue, wrongful discrimination. This Sunday, we're going to be looking at that passage. It's James chapter 2, verses 1 to 13. And if you learned or memorized that passage in the King James Version, you'll remember that it's translated with the phrase, don't be a respecter of persons, or don't show personal favoritism. And before we're quick to say, well, I never do that, it's amazing how often we can. It's amazing how frequently it can just become the part of the way that we think or the way that we talk or the way that we act. And James says that should never take place in the church. And he gives a number of very significant reasons why it shouldn't be part of the family of God. And we also have instruction about how we can overcome it. The church ought to be a place that's a welcoming place because the ground is very, very level at the cross. So I would encourage you to read James 2, verses 1 to 13 between now and Sunday. Ask God to help you have an open heart to what His Word would have to say. Ask the Lord to give us wisdom at all of our campuses as we think about applying these important verses so that we're sure that it's true of the impact our church has in this community, that we would never, ever practice wrongful discrimination. I'm looking forward to seeing you this Sunday.